Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking some time this morning and today to listen to what I have to say. Colleen reached out to me last week and asked if I would do a Rev call for you. So here we are. I'm very happy to do that. I love doing these. It's always a little bit tricky because I work nights, and so I'm sleeping during the time the Rev calls usually are. And so I have to pre-record them. And every time I go and pre-record them, I always get a phone call or something right in the middle of the recording. So this is, I think, probably the 10th one that I've recorded. So hopefully nobody calls me during this. If somebody does, then I'm just going to decline it and we're going to keep going with the presentation because I'm getting tired of it. But what I wanted to talk about is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and it really put this to the test. And I think this is the most basic fundamental part of the business and the easiest thing to put to the test. And it's what you think. And you think, what builds a business? It's action, right? And where does action start? Action starts with thinking and mindset. And if you believe that something is accomplishable or that you're going to get the results, you're going to act. But if you don't believe that, then you're not going to act. And so there's a few things that you need to believe. We're going to talk about those here that are really going to help you be successful. And a lot of people, they start, you'll start off and you're motivated and you're talking a lot about this and plenty of Rev calls, I'm sure. And we've seen plenty of active school presentations about belief and about the importance of believing that you can succeed. And that's a great thing. That's very important. But I think that that's only part of it. That's only one of the many things that you need to believe to be successful. So let's dive right into the presentation. I'm going to go pretty detailed into the PowerPoint. So if you're driving or doing chores or you're not able to look at your phone, then that's okay. To just listen in while you're doing whatever you're doing, working, eating lunch, whatever. So perceptions determine potential, and how you perceive the world will determine what the world offers you. So it's a parallel two-way street. And how you perceive others will determine if they sign up. So that's the whole gist of this presentation in PowerPoint is how you perceive the world determines what the world will give you, and how you perceive others will determine the kind of team that you build, and if you're able to sign people up and sponsor them. So this is an idea or a concept that has really been on my mind. And I think this makes sense, especially in network marketing with actives. And it's that business is the monetization of proper behaviors through products and or services. So think about that. What pays you? Sure, you create volume, you sell products. That's what Aaron always tells me. He always tells me, you get paid for selling products. End of story, done deal, nothing else, right? And at the end of the day, that's where the money comes from, is selling product. But we don't sell products or opportunities. We monetize certain behaviors. The selling of the actives products and the sharing of the actives opportunity, all that is doing is monetizing proper behaviors, because improper ways of doing that is not going to pay you. Proper ways of doing that is going to pay you, and you're going to end up with a really good, profitable, stable business. Hope that makes sense. So some of those behaviors and foundational beliefs, the first one is faith. You have to have faith to build a business, to act, right? Faith is an action word. The way that I look at it is everything that you do is an act of faith, everything. So if you go to a restaurant and you order the spaghetti, you're putting in faith that the spaghetti is going to be good, that the waiters, the people are actually going to bring the spaghetti out to you, right? When you drive to the grocery store or when you drove to the restaurant, you were driving as an expression of faith that you were going to make it there safely, that your car wasn't going to break down, that you're not going to get an accident. So everything is done out of some sort of faith, whether it's big or little, subconscious or unconscious. Enough faith over time will turn into conditioning. So we don't even think about the faith that it takes to get to point A to point B safely. But when you're first driving, right, you first get your learner's permit, you think a lot about that. It does take some faith and some little bit of courage maybe to get in the car and actually drive somewhere. The other thing is charity. Okay, so if your business isn't growing, there's a good chance that you're building a business that is focused on you. The reason why you're building is so that you can make money. And if that's why you're building it, then the talking points as you share your business are going to be centered around you. And if it's centered around you, people aren't going to recognize what it can do for them quite as easily, which means your business is not going to be as good. Okay, so charity is the number one thing. This is a very, very profitable business model so long as you're building a charitable business. You look at the comp plan and the way it works, and it's, if I want to make $1, I'm going to go help Cameron make 5, right? And if Cameron wants to make $5, he needs to go and help Stephen make $25. So it's very, very charitable. And then the other one is coachability. I can't tell you how many people that we have either had look at the business or sign up as a distributor, and they say, this is great, I get the comp plan, I get all of it, but I want to do it this way. And we say, okay, fine, whatever you want. If that's how you really want to build it, go ahead and build it that way. And every single time they come back to us 2, 3, 4 months later and say, this isn't working, I quit, thanks for nothing. And it always cracks me up because we told them, we showed them, they knew going into it, what is the proper way of building the business? And they said, that's nice, but I'm going to build it my way. And their way didn't work, and that they're somehow surprised about that. Doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me. And I was actually thinking about this, and a lot of times in business and in this business, we use the phrase doing the work. You're putting in the work, you're doing the work to build your business. And I think there's a difference between work and the work, right? Because when you say the work, it's that makes it a proper noun. So it's an actual thing. And it connotates that there is proper results and profitable results in a growing business on the opposite end of the work. But a lot of times you get people who work their butts off and there's no results. Why? I'm gonna say, I did the work, I built the business. No, you didn't. You can work or you can do the work. Right? I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to say that if you're working hard, that none of your work is good or that it's not valid. But if you're not seeing results, it's probably because the proper way to build the business, the proper work to do, is not being utilized and executed. That's all I'm saying. So it's important to be coachable because your upline knows the proper way to build the business. And if you will let them guide you, let them coach you, then you'll be successful. It may not be tomorrow. Who knows when it's going to be, right? Everyone has their own timeline. But as long as you're being coachable and implementing things, you're going to be successful. So perceptions. We're going to talk about this one with the help of the Bible. So we got the mindset and the actions and the behaviors nailed down. But what are the perceptions? This is kind of the meat of this presentation. I'm going to use a concept in the Bible to explain this. So I was actually listening to something about this part of the Bible while I was working, and it talks about how the Bible says, how you judge, you will be judged, and how you measure, you will be measured. Right? That's those famous Old Testament or New Testament verses. So the application there is reciprocity. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know how to type it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Not only in how we treat others, but how we see the world. So if you don't see kindness, you will not be kind. If you judge people and say they're not kind people, the people around me, they're not kind people, you're probably not going to be kind either. If you don't see anyone as trustworthy, you probably won't be trustworthy either. If you don't see values, then you probably won't have very many good values. And the biggest one here is if you don't see opportunity, if you don't believe that it's there, you will get no opportunities coming to you, and you can't be surprised about that. So this is a people business. So how do you view the people around you? If you're going to say nobody's looking, the market is saturated, and there's the kind of the famous thing that people will say, which is that if they wanted to do network marketing, they would have already joined a company. But if that was true, then there would only be one company. But there's not, so that's false, right? But you don't believe anyone is looking or is open. So what do? You don't reach out. You don't follow up. You won't do presentations. You won't let your upline do them for you. You won't speak up to people you meet in need of help. You won't ask people if they're keeping their options open. You definitely won't go out of your comfort zone for something you don't believe in, right? So if you don't believe that the people around you are looking for anything, who's to expect you to do the work? You can't expect yourself to do the work, right? I don't think you can. But let's change that up a bit to saying people are looking and I can help them. And if that's what you believe about the people around you, you believe that the people around you are looking for opportunity, genuinely believe that, and you also believe that you can help them, you will reach out, you will offer to help, you will make it a service, you will have people say yes, you will sponsor, you will stop and talk to the cashier a little longer, you will make a phone call instead of watching TV, all because you believe that people are looking, you can help them, and resultantly, they will say yes to the opportunity. Not everyone, but a lot of them will. I almost said most of them, but who knows? It depends. How are you talking to them, right? You could have most people sign up if you're willing to plug in your upline and really work with them together and get good at it. So we take it back to that point of business is the monetization of proper behavior. So you are compensated for products sold, measurable value created, AKA. So products sold, either organizational volume or just customer volume, whatever, it's just volume is volume, right? It's a direct result of proper behavior, believing the right things and acting on those beliefs. Believe the right thing about people, act on those beliefs, and actives will pay you more than you think you deserve. So that's the end of the PowerPoint right there. But just to kind of close out and summarize this, what do you believe about the world? What do you believe about the people around you? You look at the people that you know that are stressed, they're anxious, they're always pessimistic. Chances are they watch the news a lot and they get fed messages of stress, anxiety, pessimism, this person against that person. And they're going to behave and see the world in the exact same way. And my wife tells me this all the time as we're raising our son. And she said, oh, the world's such an anxious place. It's such a scary place. But I think that's only true if you focus on the anxious stuff and the scary stuff. And I choose not to focus on that. I see opportunity everywhere that I look. At least I try to. And I've noticed that as a result, when I look at the world, I look at it as an exciting place where the world is your oyster and you can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. You can live a great life. You can design it how you want to. You don't have to be stressed out if you don't want to. You don't have to be anxious or divided if you don't want to. And I think what it comes down to is whenever I watch the news, I start to think, oh man, the world's an anxious place, a scary place. I'm worried about raising Cody. But whenever I build the business and focus on helping people and the goodness in the world, I get so excited for him because my perception of the world is a positive one. And therefore my behaviors are positive as well. So when it comes time to people, right, we're in a people business, what do you believe about the people around you, right? Do you believe that this person you just signed up can be successful? If you don't, then you might as well just delete their number. But if you believe that they are going to be successful, they can be successful, then you're going to do everything you can to help them because you believe in them. So belief is not just, when it comes time to business, believing that you're going to be successful, but it's believing that people are looking, believing that you have the ability to help them, believing that they are going to work when you sign them up, right? Believing that they have the capacity, right? Believing that the products are going to help them. There's a lot of different points of faith. Faith is a multifaceted concept when it comes time to the business. And so I know I'm kind of rambling there, kind of trying to tie things back in full circle, but I hope that helps. Just remember, business is the monetization of proper behavior, and the products and services that you sell, the transaction that you make is not just a representation of products sold, it's a representation of proper behaviors and serving others. So keep that in mind, and I hope this helps, and have a good rest of your day.